Being bullied by suburban block people. You know, I guess there's no easy way to start this off, so we're just gonna get right into it. Thank you so much for tuning back in. What's up, Steely Squad? I decided to change the name again. I mean, whatever, it's a small group of us. Okay, hashtag Steely's Squad. I think Steely's is better than Steelers because I don't want football people getting mixed up with us. You see what I'm saying? Because like, of all the things that I talk about, it's probably never gonna be football. Steely Squad. Thanks for tuning back in to another Keeping It Real with Danie Steele. I talked about this in a live that I did a few months back. And as I've told you guys, I'm gonna get back into doing the lives, but I wanna get a little more people, you know, coming through, a little more Steely Squad gang folks up in here so that, you know, we have a good amount of people and we're talking and we're vibing and we're having a good time. This month, I want to talk about my experience in school. School is very important. Education is very important. Learning things is very important. Unpacking is very important. Growing is very important. The education that you get in school is very important, but it's also most important is the education that you give yourself. Always important to build on top of the other and to challenge the other. I speak with authority on a lot of things because I believe what the hell I'm saying. And if somebody's got something different and that's actually facts, or something that I can learn from, I'm also always open and willing to listen and learn from that too. Sometimes I'll be feeling like, you know, I'm making this YouTube channel, doesn't have a lot of followers, what the hell is going on? But then at the same time, it's like, I've seen girls I went to college with on Girls Gone Wild. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was laughing and G'ing me when I had my own Facebook page and when I started this shit, but now everybody wanted to start a YouTube channel. Okay, anyways, I want to talk about my PWI experience interacting with Black people from the suburbs. I call them suburban blocks. And they'll be like, my dad, my car, I'm black. But let's talk about suburban blocks. You know, I have a very interesting experience compared to a lot of people. One of the things that was probably most interesting was that I was definitely the poorest kid. I was one of the poorest kids in the hood. And then, if not the poorest, you know, like, kids in the hood made fun of us for not having shit. You see what I'm saying? And then definitely the poorest at, you know, the private schools that I would attend. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm very thankful for the education that I got there. Education is very important. But so is accountability. We've got a little over a year left until the next election, and we need to have these important conversations. I believe that. There's too much agenda-based nonsense. There's too much same old wrapped up in a bow and called something different nonsense. And every time I see the descendants of American chattel slavery are left at the bottom. I decided to start talking about American descendants of chattel slavery because no one around me was. This isn't like the 60s and 70s. You know what I'm saying? The black people that you see today, I'm just keeping it real. Okay, they'll tell you that major story about, oh, so-and-so from the hood, you know, Jay-Z was selling drugs in the hood and then he came up. Drug dealers have the most money in the hood. I don't know who y'all think is gonna get out of there if not the drug dealers. I mean, that's probably the dumbest shit I've ever heard, to be like, drug dealers got out, so why can't you? They have probably 100 times more easily on any given day money than the average black person in the hood. That's why drug dealers got out. You know, they'll throw Oprah at you and shit, you know, shit like that. Tokenism is real. Representation and tokenism are two different things. And what I'm seeing more and more of is a lot of privileged black people who don't know shit about the experience of black people in the hood speaking for black people in the hood. They're dancing with the culture. They're talking about how awkward you make them feel. But nobody's talking about how awkward they make us feel. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about it. Let's state our grievances. You're not welcoming in PWI spaces. I mean, I can't be more clear about that. It's very clear that suburban blocks, you know, you know, I grew up with them. I'm friends with them. It is what it is, baby. But it needs to be dissected because it don't make no sense to me and nobody's calling it out. The people higher up that's being represented for black people didn't even grow up in neighborhoods with black people. And then you want to talk to these old NAACP senators and shit, talking about some, oh, I grew up in neighborhoods with black people. That's because you literally were not legally allowed to be anywhere else. Once y'all started legally being allowed to leave, did y'all not leave? Yeah, you did. okay? So they're not welcoming PWI spaces. If anything, it feels like they just stick to the agenda. And let's be very clear, white supremacy is bipartisan. It is not discriminated against parties. You are not a racist because you're liberal. You are not a racist because you're a Democrat. That doesn't exist. You are not a racist because you're a white feminist. That's not how it works. There's a difference between not being racist and anti-racism, and it's called work. And let's be very clear. This country's not done that work. They want to not be racist until it bubbles out of them, and they're saying black kids are just as smart as kids that have breakfast. And that's your front runner? That's the runner up? Somebody that's like, yeah, sure, they deserve some toilet paper too. Not welcoming in these PWI spaces. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that they were the foremost authority until a black person from the hood got there. So before you got there, they're telling everyone, this is what black is, right? They're wearing their Bill Cosby fucking sweaters. Do the black walk. This is being black, right? And every now and then, one of their peoples is saying the N. They see Hispanic people say N-word. They don't say shit to them. I never had a Hispanic person say N-word around me. That's just facts. So I came to New York, and they was like, well, this is what we do. Okay, well, who let you? Because where I'm from, it's raps. That word is not reclaimed by black people, all right? The N-word is not reclaimed by black people, so stop saying that it is, because it's not. Moving on. So they're up in these spaces being like, do the double toe in the double boo, right? And being like, this is what blackness is, right? And that other stuff is scary black, but you know, generally, this is who we are. No, that is not generally who we are. We're not a monolith. We come from different backgrounds. We come from different socioeconomic statuses. But the majority of black people I've ever met in one given space was in the hood. Okay? And let's be very clear. I can talk like this and I can do this in any setting at any time. All right? Let's be very clear. Anybody that knows me knows that I did this for a good 20-some years. It was unappreciated. That's me acting. That's not who I am. So if I can sit up here and accept y'all crusty cornbread, granola crunchy ass motherfuckers, you can accept me. You accept Cardi B, you can accept me. Can I get a t-shirt? Can black women get a t-shirt? You accept Cardi B, you can accept me. What's going on? They're not advocating for the black people that live in the hood in these spaces. That's why whenever you get to a job, you see that one or two black people, they're like, yeah, we've been here for 25 years. And it's like, why just one or two of you? You would think all the talented black people you see, there'd be a lot more black people up in here. Y'all be bringing people up. No. Because you have to be on code. They're on code. Their parents raised them to be on code. And you have to be on code. Let's talk about how their parents raised them. Like, is this the most elite boarding school in America? Like, why are you acting all every duke and here is here? Why are you acting like that? All the men, their names, their first names end with an N. It's always a Bryson, Tyson, Biotin. Their names always end, and their names always end with an N. Why? Make it make sense, okay? Then, once white people start catching on, oh, actually, this black person knows more about blackness than the black person that we thought was the crowned leader of blackness in this space. What will they do? Throw you under the bus, embarrass you, and become intimidated by you and get you the hell out of there. I know y'all heard about the actress Afton Williams. When she said it was a black man and a white woman, black man sexually harassing her and a white woman was physically, racially assaulting and sexually assaulted her as well. Okay? And then you think they gonna let a bitch like me, nigga, huh? A bitch like me, nigga, what? A bitch like me up in the space? You see what I'm saying? A bitch that know you're not gonna put your hands on me. You see what I'm saying? You gotta definitely do things. What would Omarosa do? Keep that in mind when you're in these spaces, okay? And stay locked and loaded, okay? Because people think that they're infallible. Once they let you into the space, they're like, we let you in the space. And I feel like suburban blocks, like I said, are on key with that mentality. If anybody they're gonna throw on the bus, it's gonna be you. It's gonna be you. That brings me to my next point about them. Whenever they flex, it's on you, right? They're not gonna flex to all those white people that's treating them like Uncle Tom and treating them like a fucking porch nigga. They're not gonna flex on them. They think that's friendship. They think that's friendship. And you as a black person, you from the hood being like, yo, nigga, have some, you know what I'm saying? Put some pride in your chest or something. What the fuck? You being disrespected left and right. You're aggressive. You know, they want to tone police you. They want to snap on you. I was in a space with a couple of suburban blocks. And I mean, literally, this supervisor of mine, okay? Anytime we were in any space with white people or anybody else, he was, please, 1, 2, 3, listen to me, please listen to me, everyone. As soon as we got me, this suburban block man, this suburban block lady and me got into a tiny space together. He wanted to lay out reasons why he didn't like me, blah, blah, blah. A lot of it had to do with a white liberal that didn't like me either. A lot of it had to do with a bunch of white liberals being around me, telling me that they are victims when I know that they're not. And suburban blocks follow suit. They're like, you are a victim. Excuse me, of what? More than you? More than you? Entered the clip of Monique being like, I couldn't believe that shit. My girl Monique. Here's a picture of me and Monique together, okay? Okay? My girl Monique was like, I couldn't believe that shit. I felt bad for you. That's how I feel for y'all in these spaces. Like, goddamn, all day? All day? All day? Y'all work all day? And then I realized, no, it's not work for them. They honestly love this shit. They think this shit is life. Have to be able to do what they do. Anyways, we was in this space and I said, okay, well, you're critiquing me. I don't understand why there weren't like some like warnings or suggestions giving. This suburban block said, I don't do warnings. Slammed on the table so hard and aggressively that the suburban black woman next to him had to calm him down. You think you'd ever be in a meeting space with people that you worked with, a suburban black man and a suburban black woman? You also a suburban black and or a white person, and this black dude be slamming on tables and she be calming them down and they still have the job and you wouldn't? You see how there's no black people in these spaces? Because they will stereotype you just as fast, if not faster than white people. It's the same shit with Jay-Z and his NFL deal. Give them a reason, right? They're like, yeah, they are kind of ghetto. I do things the right way. Done. They'll fire you. Your employees have been cursing left and right. Disruptions, all sorts of unprofessionalism. And they'll fire a black woman with nothing else to keep themselves in these spaces. That's why it's always just them in the spaces. Just the two of them. And the parents have raised them that I didn't work hard the same way that a lot of people who are immigrants will say their parents did, right? I didn't bust my ass for you to hang out with a bunch of African Americans. But now since they try to take that name, right, now you gotta say descendants of American chattel slavery or Foundation of Black Americans. Like they always, and then once you say it, you get this Teletubby ass nigga, Teletubby Green, talking about some, oh, you guys are hateful. You a grandmother, you working with kids, you being a lawyer, all you people helping your people out, you're hateful for doing that. Because they want to pass this narrative that all Americans have money and all immigrants don't have money. Who's passing that narrative? Because that's a bunch of bullshit. And the black people that they have in these PWI spaces, they're not going to sit there and say, that's a bunch of bullshit. Because to them, it's not. That's why I decided to say it. I want to be very clear. I get nothing out of it. Nothing. Not a dime. Not a friendship and no support. Shout out to the few FBA supporters that have been, chilling with me for the past week or so since Teletubby Green thought that he was going to persecute an entire group of people and get away with it because Twitter allows it. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate that. That's some of the most support I've felt in a long time. Real facts. And that's why I speak up. I promise you, not a suburban block I've met that is speaking about race. They don't give a damn about you niggas in the hood. And a lot of times because niggas in the hood want to act like they're not in the hood. Oh, well, I live in New York. Or, oh, well, what you mean? I'm not poor. I'm not poor. Well, the numbers say otherwise. Statistics say otherwise. My lived experience says otherwise. 125th in Harlem says otherwise. What you mean? Y'all ashamed to admit what this country has done to y'all. And y'all got people coming from Mars being like, hey, I'll get it. They on the space shuttle. And y'all ain't gonna claim it? I'll come in and get it. And these suburban blocks are sitting there. Oh, they've been a huge letdown in these PWI spaces. They are not an ally to a black person that's starting from the bottom. And if you'll notice, right, look at all the black people that actually do stuff for other black people, right? Most of the time, the ones that are out there ground level fighting, losing friendships, losing sleep, losing relationships, losing money, they came from the hood too. They grew up in foster care too. It's not these elites. They don't care. They care about being the representation, making you niggas believe that y'all in the hood, which is the majority of you. Okay? I know because that's where I spent the majority of my life, in the hood. They're fighting to be the person that tells y'all, you made it. No, they made it. They made it. And we're going to stop with this narrative that all Americans have money and all immigrants don't. Teletubby Green, his family have a hell of a lot more money than me and mine's. And until I can sleep at night, put my head back on the pillow and know that my family, majority of my family is in this nice town or in this nice house and everybody's doing well and everybody's got health insurance, at least basic ass shit. Like most of the people that I know that are liberals or suburban blocks can say. Until I can say the same for my family as descendant of American chattel slavery, I'm not stopping. Can't stop, won't stop. And I'll have one of his little racist ass followers. She's like, look at her go. Bitch, look at me. That's why I say, y'all fuck with the wrong one because I came from the hood. So I have hood mentality. Me and Jay-Z. You fucked up, you let me into space, I figured shit out. I started calculating shit, and I'm not a bitch to be fucked with. I decided to speak up, and it was a hard choice to make. I spent most of my life not saying shit and being in these spaces and listening to them say poor people deserve to be where they are. These people, these liberals, talking about how poor people deserve to be where they are. Don't they want to be there? And just stupid ass shit. And then talking about philosophy and Sophocles. Like, bitch, why are you talking about Sophocles when you was a dumbass bitch? Anyways, I got tired of the shit. And I saw nobody would ever speak up about this shit. So I'm going to. It's always the people that's on the ground level. It's always the people that came from the hood that are like, I can't let this shit go. I gotta get out there for my people. You've seen it time and time again. They don't have any money. People telling them, stop. You're wasting your time. So we need accountability. Y'all not infallible. Y'all not perfect. Y'all not the representation of blackness. Y'all not doing enough for the everyday black American. I believe that. This video is not going to be monetized. Ha ha! Hey. That's why it's going to be poorly edited. That's what I can promise you, YouTube. Look at this. The whole video going to be like this. Since they don't give me a dime for it. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to talk about this more honestly. Use the word suburban block when you're speaking about these issues and your comment will get through. Hey! And don't forget to like and subscribe. Can you please like and subscribe and share the video? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make a life for myself. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get money out here. Help a sister out. Started from the bottom, trying to get out of here. Okay, did I fix it? Did you subscribe and hit the notification bell button? Please clap.